Hey guys, Totally Prime here, and today we're taking a look at the Transformers Studio Series 86 Megatron. I've waited an eternity for this. Woo! Stop this real quick, and let's just take a look at the figure. So overall, this figure is amazing, in my personal opinion. Like, after getting this thing in hand, it really is a joy to just play with this guy and mess with him. Like, he is so much fun. I can't stress that enough. He is legitimately fun as fuck. Like, you can clearly tell that this figure has some great detail. Despite having a monochromatic color scheme, obviously, it looks really good, especially at the head. My god, is it beautifully painted. Now, I will admit the head sculpt, while I do like it, even more so in person than those promotional pictures, admittedly, I still kind of wish he had an alternate face. Like, when it comes to G1 Megatron, he's very expressive, obviously. And it would be nice to see more than just, this face, honestly. And I'll talk about that a little bit later. But for now, overall, I really am happy with the look of this guy. Even the fusion cannon. A lot of people have complained about the fusion cannon not, looking great, like how here. But basically, the fusion cannon, as you can see, it's not proportioned very well, obviously. Like, this whole thing is a bit too long, and you can clearly tell that the designers wanted to do this thing where it, like, compressed in, but it got cut for budget reasons. Would have been nice if this kind of collapsed, honestly. I mean, I'm not mad about it, nor am I bothered by the length of this, so, I don't mind, honestly. However, when you plug it onto Megatron, obviously, it looks good. But my main issue with it, well, not much of an issue, more like, yeah, this could have been a little bit better. I wish it plugged in a bit more securely, like, it doesn't take much to plug in, doesn't take much to plug it out, just saying, really. But one thing I will say, though, is the back of this figure. Mamma mia, is it good for the most part. Legit and dead ass, this is a nice, clean looking back, obviously. And yes, this barrel thing is accurate to the original G1 model. Seriously, though, we've come a long way, especially, hold on one second, especially because we got this guy, who, while I also personally like, still, though, his back, come on now. Come on now. $50, well, $60, but still, though, versus $100. Come on now. I still love you, Optimus. Also, I can't be too harsh on this. After all, there's another figure whose backpack is very irredeemable, I will say. Anyways, how about I talk about this figure's articulation real quick. So, the head is on a ball joint. You can look up that far, look down that far, can rotate that far. Not much side to side. That's okay. This is something I really liked and is so fucking cool. Check it out. Butterfly joints. Hell yeah. Backwards butterfly joints. Hell yeah. Helicopter. Hell yeah. Yeah, it can rotate full 360. Bicep rotation that is really snug. Bend at the elbow. It's a single jointed elbow, but, it gets the job done. You get waist rotation. Oh, I also forgot about the hands. And the hands can open up at this hinge, and these fingers are separate, so they also move the same way. So, also wrist rotation. Can slightly move up and down. And you know something about these hands? Is it just me, or is these the exact same hands, just differently painted? Like, is it just me, or am I the only one who's noticing this? Well, of course I'm the only one. Anyways, like I said, waist rotation, legs can move forward that far, can move back that far. These look so nice, honestly. They can move out that far, can do a thigh rotation, single jointed knee, and a damn good ankle pivot, along with the toes moving up, moving down, more for transformation, which I'll talk about a little bit later. But yeah, goddamn, man, this guy's articulation is through the fucking roof, man. now let's move on and talk about his accessories. So we obviously have the fusion cannon. We all know about the fusion cannon, the most important accessory for Megatron, but you also get these two. You get a cool little beam saber from the movie, and you also get a little Megatron gun. And nice and beautifully detailed, I will admit. And I especially love the little Decepticon logo there, but I mainly like this whole barrel and this section of the scope. It's really beautifully detailed and painted. However, I will say though, it's kind of missing a little bit more like a stock, I would say. Like, where is that? Not like this matters, because spoilers for the transformation in the alt mode, yeah, he does turn into a gun, obviously, who cares. Now, he looks great in hand with his accessories. And as much as I appreciate Hasbro for obviously giving off, you know, the beautiful saber, and of course the beautiful little baby gun, here's the thing though. I'm not quite happy with the amount of accessories we got. Don't get me wrong, I love these accessories, especially this Megatron gun, like I said, but I don't know. Again, I feel like he should come with a little bit more, like, you know, the gun he also had that he used to pretty much shoot down Optimus. Not like obviously you can replicate it, of course, but still, it would have been nice if he came with a, gun from the actual movie, obviously. Yeah, hell, not only that, but where's his mace, honestly? I know it may seem like I'm exaggerating here, or more like I feel like that's a little bit unnecessary, but considering the fact that that Studio Series Optimus Prime that I was talking about came with an axe, and even though it's based off the 86 movie, and he came with an axe from the very first episode of G1, it's like, you see what I'm saying? Well, Megatron doesn't get his mace. Why? Honestly. Hey, and also, again, like I said, alternate faces, they would be so nice, honestly. It would complement this guy really well. But also, what would complement this guy even more is a blast effect part. In other words, get in there. We'll take it apart. Oh, why aren't you going in? Can you please tell me this goes in? So, yeah, as it turns out, not a single blast effect part is compatible with this cannon. Bruh! But I just want to say this right here now. I would like to see someone also agree with me in the comments below, along with protesting the idea that leader class figures, like this guy here, should get their own goddamn effects parts. Like, it is not that fucking hard to do that, especially for this Megatron. Like, he could have came with his very own unique effect part, honestly. It would have been so nice, but no. Oh well, at least this little blaster here can be blast effect compatible, obviously, and hey, that actually looks really good. Yeah, god damn it. Yeah, you can actually store the accessories on his back. This plugs into there, obviously, and this has a tiny tab that plugs right into there, and that stores nice and well. Anyways, I just want to say this right here now. My god, is he solid as hell. Now, like, there is not a single part of him that feels loose, like, at all, honestly, which I am not complaining. But hey, just like leader class figures, at least he is very sizable. $100 and yet $60. And guess what? Not only do they, well, obviously look good together, but he's actually a little bit taller than this guy. You crazy bastard. Another comparison, give me a second. Ooh. Is Studio Series concept art Megatron. Guys complement each other very well. Oh, what's another one I can do, obviously? And here he is with Deluxe Class TF1 D16, aka Megatron. Tiny little guy. Alright, now comes my favorite part, but a little bit of a tedious part, because the way how I have my studio is that it's literally on the ground, and it's like, well, it's not the worst, obviously, but it's a very uncomfortable experience, obviously. And the way how I am on the ground, it is, it's not gonna be great when I transform this guy. Don't get me wrong, I love this guy's transformation. That's one thing I will give this guy a huge amount of credit. The transformation is absolutely insane, honestly. But transforming it while I'm in this thing is gonna be a bit of a bitch. Don't worry, I'm still gonna show it, obviously, but I'm just letting you know that you should be fucking grateful, okay, man? Anyways, with that being said, let's get into it. Okay, here we go. So obviously you want to take the fist, you want to ball it up into a fist like that. Then you want to open this up, come in here, put that fist in there like so. Then you want to rotate it this way, then close all this up like so. Same thing on the other side. Now what you're gonna do is you're gonna take this butterfly joint and you're gonna rock it back. So you want them looking like that. Next, you're gonna come to the back, lift and free all of this up. Then you're gonna want to rotate it all like so. Then you're gonna want to rotate the arms like so. And you're gonna leave that there for now. Now you are gonna want to open this little compartment right here. Lift that down. Take this chest, open that up. Take this, lift that open, and then now snap into place. Then the head, oh, it's hot in here. You just flip down, then you take this, and you push that back up. Next, you're going to take this whole thing apart, and then you're going to rotate the waist like that. Next, you are going to lift this up, bring that over, same on the other side. Then you're gonna lift the legs. This tab is gonna slide right into there. Take some finessing. Go. And next, you're going to take that little tab right there, and it's gonna plug into his butthole. As famous Jobby the Hung said. There we go. There we go. Like so. And for this part, you want to work with these hinges so that this little tab goes into this, and this tabs into there. It'd be better if you did them both at the same time, like so. There you go. Alright, there we go. Alrighty. Oh, that's the entire top half of this done. Now for the legs. This is the most fun part of the transformation and the most tedious part. So you're going to take this, lift this up. Same with this. Now you're going to take these legs, split them apart like so. Then you're going to open all this up. Before you put this up here, you want to take these parts, bring them out. There we go. Bring them out. Do all that. Then you can bring this up. Alright, and you got them like that. And now for this part, right? Okay, so now for this part, all you gotta do is just tab and line everything up. So this gray tab will go into this thigh. There will be some tabs right here. That will go in the slots right there. Just a case of lining it all up to place. There we go. You got something like that. Come on. There we go. There we go. Like so. Now, we're almost there. You take these, fold them down like so. I think there are supposed to be some tabs in there or somewhere it can slot. It works just fine, honestly. Like, it's fine the way it is. Then you take this, you extend that foot, you bring that down. There's like a little tab right there and a slot right there. That will just go in. Then you bring the foot down like so. And I just love how all of this works, honestly. Still not done though. So now you'll take the arms, move them like that. You'll take the fusion cannon, just take this, extend that back, slot that in there. There'll be tabs that'll go into the side like so. Take this barrel and plug it in, and just like that, you're done. Woo! Here we have the alt mode, and yeah, look, I can totally understand how many of us feel about this. It's like, even I still kind of wish he, turned into his G1 gun, the thing he actually turns into, both in the show and even in the movie. But, honestly, I really don't hate it that much. Like, again, I do prefer, this. Yes, but I still really like this tank mode, and plus, I will side with what MGO says in his review for this figure, where basically, yeah, throughout the past 40 years, Megatron has been anything but a gun, honestly. Like, he's been multiple things. He's been a boat, a car, 2 different dragons, an elephant, a hand. Yeah, he's been multiple things, honestly. But a tank is the most common thing for him, or even a jet, honestly. So this is nothing entirely new, but something I really don't mind, honestly. In fact, I actually quite like the look of this tank mode a lot, honestly. Yeah, it's not the most realistic thing ever, but if we're going with G1 logic, which is to say, the alt modes weren't the most realistic thing, as far as any of us can tell, which, to me personally, I really don't mind, honestly. Especially when it comes to this, honestly. Like, I really love how it's not a realistic tank mode. It's whatever it's supposed to be, honestly. Plus, and also, think of this figure as more of a Devastation Megatron, where he had a tank mode, obviously. Plus, the tank mode itself is not that bad. I mean, I just love this whole section right here. This whole bottom section here. Even the front grille is awesome. The turret may not be the most perfect thing ever, especially when you lean it out to the side like this, but I still quite like it. I even love the back of this tank mode. I really love how the legs just compress in very nice and well. What I don't like about the tank mode, when you look at it from the sides, it feels a little bit gappy in my opinion. I mean, look at that. Look at this, honestly. It feels a bit gappy, especially right here. And even here. I mean, this is not an eyesore for me, but it could be an eyesore for someone else. In other words, get over it, bitch. Yeah, I will say, though, at least the kibble management is pretty good. Just the feet are the only thing that are there, obviously, along with that gab. But one thing I'm happy for is rollable wheels. So yes, you can indeed go. But what makes me even more happy, hold on one second, is that this is at least blast effect compatible. Hell yeah. I really do love that, obviously. I still wish the main actual fusion cannon was compatible, but no, the only way how it can be is with this. If they made a specific blast effect part for this, we wouldn't have this problem. And of course, you could store his accessories on him. So, and that does not look too bad. Alrighty, so overall, what do I think of this figure? Honestly, I really love him. Despite with some minor complaints that I mentioned, like, how I kind of wish that he did turn into a gun, obviously. Before you all say anything, yes, I'm aware he can, but I can't be bothered because I didn't look it up, obviously. But still, I like the tank mode the way it is, even with its flaws, with it feeling a little bit gappy for my liking. And of course, what I said about the fusion cannon. But otherwise, and other than that, this is by far my favorite figure of the year so far, or at the very least my favorite mainline figure, obviously. But yeah, I really enjoyed this figure. He's just really overall fun, honestly. I can't really complain or say much else about him. And I really hope you guys enjoy him as much as I enjoyed him. Highly recommended. Don't care how much he is, just get him. He's truly worth it, honestly. Yeah, with all that being said, I guess that's really it. So with all that being said, just like, commenting, and subscribing. Really would appreciate that. But otherwise, and other than that, I do hope you enjoy this video. So yeah, that's it.